Good morning, good morning, good morning. Forest night out in St. Louis. Hopefully you're having an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day. I know I am. I'm glad and excited to be here with you this morning. I'm going to show you how I trade gold live, how I do the setups. I think you can have a lot of fun here. Feel free at any time if you have any questions at all. My mobile number should be scrolling right across the bottom of the screen. My phone's telling me I'm going live. I already know that. So again, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. A little bit about me. One thing that I started doing, if you don't know me, my name's Forrest Knight. I'm a social media marketing strategist, a coach. I love helping people succeed online and make money. That is like my life mission. And I'm not going to go into why I like doing that, but one is I just like helping people make money. Good morning, baby. Hey. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to show you how I trade gold live, or how I trade gold and the setups and a couple of the indicators that I use. I'm going to share the platform with you that I learned how to do all this stuff. I started. No, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to share the platform with you that I actually learned from the educators on, because it's very, very important. If you're going to learn how to trade, in my opinion, is that you actually learn how to trade. You don't just go in and try to figure it out on your own, because I've talked to quite a few people that said, I've tried that before. Sort of like saying that you want to be a brain surgeon and you tried it. Like, if you're going to be a brain surgeon, you got to go to college, you got to go to doctor school, you got to do a lot of practice on like cadavers and things like that. Well, this trading university is the exact same way. This trading academy is the same way. The cool thing about it is you can learn how to trade crypto, learn how to trade Forex. If you don't know what those are, Google them. Can learn how to get involved in the NFT market. You can learn how to get in the DeFi market. You can do that as well. If you're catching this over on YouTube, please do the thumbs up thingy and the subscribe. Really appreciate it. And if you have any questions at all, again, text me first. All right, phone number's right here, scrolling across the bottom screen. Text me first. If you just call me, I won't answer because I don't answer unrecognized calls. Just shoot me a text. Tell me who you are, kind of question you have, and we can set up a quick chat, show you how to do this. So let me jump over here. Good morning, Martin. Martin's one of my newest student buddies that enrolled in class with me, learning how to trade. So excited for that. Good morning. Good morning, Martin. Welcome. So as I like to do, I'm going to do a screen share. Again, the whole point of this isn't to teach you how to trade gold. It's to simply show you that it's probably easier than you think. One of the cool things about learning how to trade is you can learn how to trade with play money, monopoly money. You open up a demo account, you learn how to trade. And then what we usually recommend is when you get ready to go live, you start with a little bit smaller account and work your way up from there. Good morning, Miss Beverly, another one of the fellow students jumping on the bandwagon. So again, if you haven't traded before, you've been thinking about trading, you want to learn how to trade, let me close this door over here real quick. Hopefully got the fan going on up here so I don't get too hot doing this. So again, welcome. Let's go ahead and jump right in this. Don't want to keep you here all morning. Got a busy schedule here. I've got a Grant Cardone training. I'm going to jump in here at 9 o'clock. So it's going to be fun. I love learning to do that kind of stuff as well. So I'm going to start right over here. So you can see this is a gold chart, and we're going to come back to this here in just a minute. This is the Elevate Hub right here. This is the training hub. You can see they've got a crypto academy, they've got a Forex academy, we've got forums, we've got communities. One of the neatest things about the Elevate Training Hub, if you want to call it, the Elevate Training Portal, the Elevate Training Academy. I think that's actually pretty cool, Elevate Training Academy. Maybe we should change the name, right, Beverly? I agree. So anyway, the cool thing about it is the community. We have an awesome community. Every Tuesday, we actually get together, me and Beverly and Martin and a bunch of others of us. There's probably, I don't know, there's a ton of people on there. Tuesday mornings, and we trade live for about an hour. Very, very exciting community. You're welcome to join us if you'd like to jump on that. Make sure you send me a text message sometime Monday night and say, hey, I want to jump on the iTrade Tuesday call, and I will get you the access information to get on that. It's not recorded, so you can't see it anywhere. You actually have to be there live and participate. You don't have to do anything. If you're brand new, you just show up and watch, right? And come and hang out with us. It's exciting. Yes, it is an academy. It's very, very cool. We got a ton of instructors. We've got Spanish instructors. We've got English instructors. We got There's a ladies only class I think is going on today, this evening at 7 o'clock. I think it's tonight. So very, very cool for the ladies only type kind of deal. So this is the hub. I'm not going to go through this. If you'd like to, you can simply go to the link that's above here, iTradeFX.pro. That's right here above the screen. You can go there. And I've actually got a recording that does a dashboard walkthrough of the hub. And then if you decide you want to get enrolled, if you scroll down that page a little bit lower, there's an enrollment hub, an enrollment link that's going to bring you to a page like this. Just simply fill out the form. It's going to take you all the way down here to the bottom. Click on this middle subscription button here, add it to the cart, get enrolled. It's $179 a month. No contracts. You get enrolled, and we'll walk you through the basics. And when you do that, shoot me a message and let me know. And I want to make sure you get started right. You got to go through the Forex basics first, or the crypto basics first. And then we can talk about getting you into some live classes with the instructors, which is really, really neat. And then when you get ready, you can actually add this EX8 app, which is a trading assist app that help you earn while you're learning, which is very, very neat. I don't recommend this app right out of the gate, because if you don't have any experience, you're not going to know how to use the app, and it's just going to be a waste of money. So I'd rather you just maybe wait 30 days, get in, go through all the basics, and then get into a live class so you can actually understand how to use this EX8 app, because you need to learn how to do TradingView. You need to learn how to use either MT4 or MT5 on your phone and put all that together to use the app. So there's a few hoops you have to jump through before you do that. So let me jump back over here to the charts again. If you'd like to see the walk through the hub, simply go to iTradeFX.pro. It should be the link you see it in the banner, the yellow banner right up above. If you can't get there, just shoot me a text message. I'll get you the link. It'll take you right there. So let's jump back over here to the charts. So this is TradingView. You're looking at TradingView, and I'm going to go through this. I'm going to explain the difference between gold and the dollar and the Australian dollar against the US dollar. I'm going to talk about these, and you'll have you might be excited about, oh, man, I'd like to learn how to trade. And again, when you do open a trading account and you jump into this trading academy, you can you can definitely do it with Play Money, a demo account, which is nice, and have a little bit of fun. So this is gold. This is a gold chart, and you can see you see a lot of red lines. I use what we call Heikinaichi candles. If you jump into trading classes, you'll learn what these are. There's different types of candles that you can use as your traditional candle. There's a Heikinaichi candle. I like to use these. I learned how to use them. I understand how they work, so it's pretty cool. Again, I learned that in class. And this is the US dollar. You can see that. We're going to jump into all this stuff on the chart and explain this so it makes sense when I get ready to trade here. And then this is, like I said, this is the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. And I'll explain the correlation and relationship of this trading pair. This is a pair that you can trade as well, and get in and do this. So just to be clear at what we're talking about, right? When you're trading gold, you're not buying gold bullion. You're not buying gold bars. You're not putting them in your basement. You're not having them shipped to your house. You're trading. You're opening a trading account. And the cool thing about a trading account is you put money in it, right? Once you get to the point where you want to trade live, you're going to put money into a trading account. You're going to open it with a broker, right? And there's hundreds of brokers out there to trade with. You can Google it, right? You can go to FX. I think it's forexfactory.com or forex.com. There's just tons of places you can do research on different brokers, right? And you can find a broker. For example, the one that is on the top of the screen here is Oanda. That is a broker that you can get an account with. Again, I'm not recommending them. I'm just using them because they're on my chart. But you can go over and choose multiple brokers to practice with when you open up a TradingView account. It doesn't really matter which one you practice with. You just need to get used to practicing first. Then when you get ready to open a live account, that's a whole nother training lesson in itself. Try to pick out the right broker, the ones that charge lower fees versus higher fees. Give you a couple of recommendations for that. The broker that I use has their own MT4 application actually it's an MT5 application. I like MT5 as a trading platform. It's a little more robust in terms of the features that are available. I really, really like it. It's very, very cool platform. Now let's jump into this. So some of the things that you're looking at on the chart here, this is what's called the MACD. It's an indicator. It helps me choose when to get in and out of the market. We're going to jump into that. You're going to see I put a couple of lines on the chart here just to give you an overall general idea of the trend, this trending. And then I've got these, if you want to call them breakout boxes. I do these just to give my eyes a line of sight in the direction and the trend that a trade might be going. And this will make a lot more sense when you get down to some of the smaller time frames. But as you can see right now, gold is trending down. It's been going up a little bit and down a little bit and up a little bit and down a little bit. And you can see it's been doing that for a little while. Over here, you can see it sort of went into a consolidation or ranging motion, and it jumped way up here. And then it just started doing this little swim on its way down to wherever it's going right now. And it's been way down here in the basement. It's gonna trend down, but I'll show you how some of the things to look at. So this is gold. This is on the $1 chart. So one of the things that you can do that's really, really neat with gold, it usually runs in correlation to the US dollar. And as you can see here, it says all else being equal, a stronger US dollar trends to keep the price of gold lower and more controlled, while a weaker US dollar is likely to drive the price of gold higher through increasing demand, because more gold can be purchased when the dollar is weaker. And right here you can see, and this is a daily chart, and these are days right here. So this is the 15th of August, that's the 16th of August, that's the 17th of August, and there's the 18th of August, which was yesterday. Forex trading, and again, this is the dollar chart. The market's getting ready to open here in about an hour and a half. The market will open up and be on fire and ready to go. When you're trading Forex, you can trade Forex. The Forex days start at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm not going to get into all that, but it's a little bit catchy here. But as you can see on this chart, this is the dollar, and you can see how it's flowing. And this is going to be a lot of fun. And I put a little what I call a breakout box here, because I'm using Heikinaichi candles again just to give my eye a trend. And you can see this is sort of trending down from the 18th of July all the way down to the 12th of August. It sort of was in a downtrend motion. As you can see that if I put a trend line on here, you can see it's sort of trending in that direction. It's trending downwards, right? It's going in a down. Whoops, don't want to move that one. I'm moving everything on my chart here. Click on that, grab that. Let's pull that up here just a little bit. As you can see, it's trending down this way. And then it turned, right? And it's going into a buying. This is a selling motion. This is a buying motion that's going up here. The dollar is actually increasing in value, which means typically the price of gold is going down. So watch this. This is fun. I was looking at this last night, and it's pretty neat. Now, one of the things that to remember when you're trading gold, again, I'm going to do a little bit of training and some things I've learned, is just because the dollar is going down doesn't mean gold's automatically going to go up, or vice versa. Doesn't mean just because the gold is going up doesn't mean, or just because the dollar is going up doesn't necessarily mean the gold is immediately going to go down. And I'll show you that. So you'll notice here, this date is the 12th of August. This is the 15th of August, so that must have been a weekend. Yeah, 13, 14 was Saturday, Sunday. So the 15th of August was obviously a Monday. The market's closed on the weekend, so that's 12th of August was probably a Friday in this. So that's your deal there, and I want to show you this. So let's jump over to gold and find those same dates. So here's the 12th of August. You can see the 12th of August here, which was a Friday. It's still in a buying market, but we've got a really, really small, let me blow this up. We've got a very, very small candle here in the buy. So remember, 12 August is a buy here. And on the dollar, 12 August is a selling candle on this. So if you're just looking at that single day, you probably wouldn't have a good idea. But we're going to go to a smaller chart, and we're going to show you how to do this. So that's on the day to give you an idea. So a lot of times, gold is going to trend a little bit behind in terms of its direction change. I'm going to show you how we figured all this stuff out. Now, I could trade gold on this chart if I wanted to. If I want to do like an not intraday, but a swing trade. If I want to do a swing trade and I want to trade for the week, I can set up and open a trade and set it up on this chart and just let it run through, the middle of next week if I wanted to, because it's probably going to do something like this all the way down, and it's probably going to do another dip up. I'll show you some cool tools that I use to help figure that out. We're going to jump into this. Let me go back to my normal size chart. And again, you can see gold is trending down this way, and it's been ranging. You did a little ranging here, and then it went up, and then it dropped, and it came here and did a little ranging across this way. Ranging simply means it's going crossways across the chart. and the best time to trade. But again, this is on the daily chart because you get into these like this trade right here on 14 June. If you go down to a lower time chart on the 14 June and you would have jumped into the sell, there's a lot of money right there on that one single candle on that day when that gold was way up here at 1851 and it came all the way down here to 1803. There was some money. There was some money in them there heels, if you like to use the gold trading term. So very, very cool opportunity. Again, this is the daily chart. So let's go down. Let's go down, and we're going to jump all the way down to the hourly chart. I'm going to come over here to, let me jump back over here to the Australian dollar. The Australian dollar typically follows gold. So sometimes it's a little bit lagging, but you'll notice here on the daily chart on the Australian dollar, it's starting to drop, right? It's in a selling mode. And again, there's some indicators on here that would tell me if I'm going to trade on this daily chart for the Australian dollar. I've got the MACD that has a red dot here. I've got this gold line and what we call the fast indicator. We'll jump into that here in a little bit on a lower time chart. I've got some things in here that say, man, it might be a good idea. I did a breakout box up here to enter this trade, set myself up a trade and open a trade that's going to run down here for a couple of days in terms of a sell. And I would probably, just based on my experience, I would probably bring that trade down to somewhere in this area. And when I get to a lower time chart, I'll show you how that's going to make sense. And again, quite a bit of money between this area and this area on a smaller time chart. So let's jump back over here to gold. We're going to take gold down to the 1 hour, right? On the 1 hour time chart, you can see it's got a little bit more going on. I jumped all the way from the daily down to the 1 hour, and you can see on the 1 hour chart that it's actually running down. So this is 17 August all the way down to this is all 17 August, and you can see on 17 August it ran all the way down to 11 o'clock. It went into a seller's market. In other words, it came out a little bit of ranging motion. It started in a sell here. Again, if you would have opened a trade on this trade, you would have got some pretty decent little dollars in there, depending on what your lot size was. It was 165 pips on that move right there, which is absolutely amazing, amazing move when trading gold. And there's a lot of money between 2 a.m. in the morning and 11 a.m. In the morning on the 17th, which was yesterday. So a lot of money in that, a lot of opportunity in that trade right here. Then it went into ranging throughout the rest of the day. And then it started in an upwards move again about 2 o'clock in the morning. It started its uptrend. So let's go take a look at the dollar and see where it's at and what it's doing for the daily, right? So I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to come for the hour chart. Let's come over here to the hour. Let me readjust this and take a look at this. This is amazing, right? So we're saying on the 17th of August, right? Here's the 17th. And you'll notice on the 17th, remember in gold on the 17th, it was selling for the US dollar. Excuse me. Ooh, that shake is so good. Sorry about that. I know I teased you guys, right? So on the 17th of August, it started trending up, right? And it went into this is US dollar. It's trending up, and you'll notice gold on the same day is going down. Pro tip there. Pro tip. You can watch the dollar and get the news. And if I wanted to jump over to the news, I think there's some news coming out today about employment and things like that with the U.S. dollar. Might be a good idea. I have a feeling at 8:30, the U.S. dollar is going to do some crazy stuff, especially on a lower time frame when you get down into there. So the dollar may end up doing something like this. Gold's going to trend behind it. So today might be a good day to, if this is going into, if the dollar is going into sell mode right here at 7 a.m., that means gold is in a buying trend right here. So that's a way to do. Now, I typically trade gold on a smaller time chart because I'm not going to be in it all day, right? I could do this and I could jump in this, but you can see got some ranging here. It dropped, right? I could have caught this gold. Now let's have some fun with this. Let's add some indicators to the chart, and I'll show you some fun ways to make trading gold a little bit easier. One of the tools that I like to use is called the FAST system. It's an indicator that helps me decide when to get in and out of a trade with a lot of other indicators on the chart. Come on here, chart move. There we go. So in this fast system, you can see here is if I would have jumped into this trade yesterday morning, had some indicators. I've got this really cool blue cloud floating across the back. I've got an oracle, purple oracle up above, excuse me. I've got this black line here. I can't remember what it's called. And I've got the gold line. I can't remember what it's called, but we'll just call them the black and gold lines for right now. In this fast system, you see I've got an X right here behind this, right? And as you can see on this day, let me clear that stuff out of there. Everything, again, is trending downwards on gold. There was a lot of money from this point right here to this point right here was tons of dollars, even though there was quite a bit of ranging in the middle, right? I could have opened a trade here and ran to here, let it run for a little bit, open a trade here, let it run for here. It's going to run a little bit. And you can see now starting to trend up. So some of the things that I'm going to look at on this 1 hour chart are what are my indicators doing? I've got a green X right here, which means I'm going into a buy. My MACD, although I've got a green dot way down here where this means a bunch of buyers are jumping in the market and they're buying. The reason they're buying, remember, what did we say about the US dollar, right? When the US dollar is strong, gold, the price of gold goes down, so you can buy more gold. When the dollar goes up, you buy more gold, right? Does that make sense? So that's why we've got buyers in the market right now buying gold or trading to buy gold. They're buying gold, and they're about to this MACD zero line. And I'm looking for a couple of things in this trend. One is I'm looking for a purple wave to start. Once I see a purple wave, that's going to tell me there's probably a trend change going. But I've also got this candle right here. Oh man, it just started. So I've got another 53 minutes for this candle to finish out. So we're going to go to a smaller time frame to get a better idea. But typically I'm waiting for a purple cloud. I'm waiting for this price to actually be above this gold line. And it's probably going to trend towards somewhere in this black line area here. But let's jump down to a smaller chart. Time frame, we're going to jump down to the 15-minute chart. I hit my little refresh thing down here on the bottom. And you notice on my 15-minute chart, I'm way above my zero line on my MACD. Again, something you would learn in class. I've got my breakout box that I put down here again just to keep my eyes to help me with trends. And you see this is gold, up and down and up and down and up and down. Now, if you would have been on a bigger chart sitting there watching your MT4, and let's say you entered a sell right here and it's running and you got down to, maybe $1,000 or something in this range, and then it started ranging, and the next thing you know, it's taken off. You're like, oh man, all my money's gone, because all of this buying right here took out all of this money right here. So this is learning how to trade gold. So if I would have opened this trade here on my 15-minute chart that was back on at 8:15 in the morning yesterday, right? Again, I said trading gold is usually a good time between about 7 a.m., which is about now, all the way till about 9:30, which that was about 11:15. That was a really, really nice day yesterday. It would have been some money. If I wouldn't have closed that trade out right there, I would have basically had all of my trade money that I earned on this side reverse. It doesn't mean I'm losing it. It just means that the money that I earned in my account would just go back the other direction. So again, we'll get more trading. Then it turned around and came back, and I got all my money, got the majority of it back again. And it came back and it took it away. So it's getting in and out of the trade, in and out of trade. This is where it gets funerific in trading gold. So I'm going to put a breakout box right here, right? Because again, we see I've got here at 3:45 in the morning, gold was in a buy, it's in a buy, it's in a buy, it's in a buy, it's in a buy. I can put a breakout box here, but I'm actually going to come up to this top little candle right here, and I'm going to put a breakout box right here. It's going to give me a good idea. It's sitting right on this purple oracle. Price is between the sheets. That's called a BTS move that we talk about when we look at buying between the gold and the black line here, which means if the dollar decides to if the dollar goes up, right? If the dollar has a tendency, if the dollar changes this morning at 8:30 and starts to trend up this way, gold is probably going to turn and do this. And again, in this move right here, when it does this, there's probably a pretty good chance that you can catch some money. This is on the 15-minute chart. Now, some things that I'm going to look at. When am I going to get into? One is, as Aaron Shepard says, one of my favorite instructors, a military retired vet. Matter of fact, he just retired. And I'm like, bum, dude, I like seeing him a couple of times a week. He actually just retired, which is neat. He's a military vet, disabled vet guy. So cool, so smart. Really a pleasure getting to learn from him. So absolutely cool. And he taught me all of this stuff, and I'm really proud of that. So Aaron, if you're listening, man, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. So in this is the fast system, right? Some of the things on the indicators you're going to look at in the fast system are green X's, purple clouds, orange lines, black lines, purple indicators, and breakout boxes. So, and of course, I use the MACD. Everything right now tells me this is consolidating. I got my oracles going to the right. My green MACD is starting to turn, pointing down. I don't have any way to get in the chart. And of course, if I was going to get in, I would have gotten in somewhere down here in this trade at 3:45 in the morning, but I was sleeping, so that wasn't happening to jump into this trade. It's going to run right up to this point somewhere in this area, and I probably would have got out, probably would have set my trade to open right about here and get out right here in this area, right just below this black line, and I would have made some pretty decent little dollars if I would have been up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, my buddies down in Australia, they could have caught some nice pipperonis, as we call them, some nice pips by trading this trade, because they're in Australia and they're wide awake in the morning. And when it's 2 o'clock here, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning or something in Australia. So they would have caught that. I'm going to look at this. So let's go down to a little bit smaller time frame. I'm going to do the same thing on the dollar. Let's catch up to the dollar. I'm on the 15-minute chart here on the dollar. And you can see on the dollar, it's heading to the basement. Got a few buyers that jumped in, but for typically I've got a red dot, which means sellers jumped in the market, sellers jumped in the market, sellers jumped in the market. I'm way below my MACD 0, and the dollar is still heading towards the basement, probably waiting for that news that's going to come out here in about 20 minutes to find out what's going on with the news and the US dollar, to see if that's going to go in a different direction. But it's basically trending down. And again, I'm using Heikin-Achi candles. That's why you don't see a lot of these. If I switch over to traditional candles, you're going to see it looks a lot more cray-cray. That's why I like to use these. They're more of a trend following candle. Helps me just keep me focused in the direction, the overall trend that's going for the dollar. Doesn't really matter. I just like to watch the dollar and see what direction it's going in, right? So here we're on the 15-minute chart. Let's go ahead and move you down to the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, I've got a little bit of ranging here. I'm still have a tendency. I'm still trending down, right? I'm still in a downward trend down this way. The dollar is still trending down in overall. And I like to do this on both sides just to get a good trend idea, sort of keep it in a box. Ooh, that actually comes out to a pretty cool little wedgie type kind of thing there. Basically, the dollar is trending down in that direction. Let's go ahead and jump back over here to gold. Gold will come down to the 5-minute chart. My 5-minute chart, you can see now my 5-minute chart, I'm actually coming out below my breakout box. I've got my gold line down here. Now, here's the trick. I'm going to look for a whole bunch of indicators and when I'm going to get in and when I'm going to get out of the market for trading gold. I'm going to come all the way down here to the 1 minute. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to refresh my chart, and this is where this gets fun. Now, this gold doesn't trade, for those of you that trade US 30, gold doesn't trade as fast as the US 30, but you can actually see this candle is moving, right? It did a BTS move. If I would have got into this when I started talking to you guys a few minutes ago, so basically in 8 minutes, it was 7:08 right here, and it's 7:13 right now. So in 5 minutes, it did this nice little move right here, and you can see gold is going up and down. But here's some things I'm looking at. One is I've got my MACD, right? I've got my MACD down here. I've got a red dot. Everything's below my 0. My gold is trending down, but then I need to come back here and look at my dollar. I'm going to actually come down to the 1 minute on the dollar. Look at that. The dollar's going up, but again, it's going up. Buyers in the market, sellers in the market, buyers in the market, sellers in the market, buyers in the market. So my dollar's going up. It's 7:13 right now. Gold, guess what? It's going down at 7:13. So there's your indicator. So if I was going to jump into this trade back here, I would have looked at this area. Hey, don't forget you got to cook those eggs and stuff, babe. Did you hear me? Hello? So anyway, gold is ranging here. Our gold is ranging. It was ranging just a little bit. I got this red X. I got the blue cloud, right? And I've got this orange line. Now, one of the things I wanted to wait to do, especially while it's ranging, I want to wait for price, even though I've got a blue cloud, right? I've got a blue cloud. I want to wait for price to go below this orange line. This is where I would have entered this trade this morning. So I was going to jump into a trade on my MT4. You can see it hit this black line and it stalled out. You'll notice this candle starting to stall out. It's going to change in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got my little timer going over here. It's going to jump into the next 1 minute candle. And look at that. It changed directions, right? I'm looking at quite a few indicators on here. I still have a red SAR up here, which means sellers are still in the market. But my line down here on my MACD, if you guys can see this down here in the bottom, it's starting to turn. It made a left turn, and it's starting to go into flat. So it's probably going to start to turn and come up this way. So if I'm going to scalp gold, just like I would scalp US 30, I can do this kind of stuff. Or I can go up to a larger time frame, right? I can come up here to the 15 minute, and I can get in the 15 minute, but I'm going to use my 1 minute chart to tell me when I want to get in and out of the chart. This isn't telling me anything. I don't want to get in this trade right now because I've still got a purple cloud. I'm in a BTS move. It may trend to do this and then come back. But again, I'm going to watch the US dollar to see where it's going. It's on the 1 minute. We've got some sellers jumping in the market. If I come up to the 15 minute, you can see everything is still trending in a downward motion here. Let me get that line out of the way just a little bit. You can see everything is trending here, but I've got a smaller candle, right? I've got a smaller 15-minute candle, which is going to time out here in about 13 minutes to see where this candle is going to go. But typically the dollar going down, which means if it's going down, gold is going up. But again, we're right here on this time frame. We've got 13 minutes to see where it's going. And as Aaron used to say, pound paid to wait, patience. If you're patient on this stuff, gold's not going anywhere. It's going to be here all day. It's going to be doing this all day. It's going to be doing this all day. The time frame I like to jump in is right about now at the 7 o'clock moment. So I would jump over here. I'm going to go down to my 1 minute deal here. Let me find my trading deal. I'm going to open up my MT5. I'm going to click on gold. I'm going to click on trade. And just like you would, now the cool thing about MT5, depending on a trend, is I can execute a trade, then I can come back on MT5 and modify it and set my stop loss and my take profit depending on an overall trade, an overall trend, which is neat. I don't think you can do that on MT4. At least the MT4 I was using, I couldn't do that on MT5. I can set this trade up and I can open it and I can execute on this trade. And some of the things that I'm looking at here, depending on when I want to open this trade, there's quite a few things going on. Now, a lot of people say, oh, there's green candles. Let's jump in. I'm not jumping in on this one is because I'm below the gold line, right? I've still got a red SAR up here, although my purple oracle is heading towards the north, heading up, right? I'm going to look over here at my dollar. My dollar's trending down, so there's a pretty good chance that there is a buy right here. But I want to wait for a couple of indicators. I want to wait for this cloud to turn purple. I want to wait for a red X, and I want to wait for price, if it is going north, to get above this gold line to jump in a trade. So it's going to come all the way up here. Then it's probably going to do this number again. And I'm looking at where my MACD is down here on the bottom. Come on, scroll up. Down here on the bottom, you can see it just crossed, which means it's going to probably give me it may give me a green dot. That would be another indicator for a buy. So if I'm going to jump in this for a buy, I'd have to look for a green dot. I'd prefer it to be above the 0 line. I would prefer the price to be above the orange line, and I would be looking for a green dot versus red. However, you can see sellers are coming back into the market right here. Let's look at the dollar real quick. You can see this. I've got a really, really small candle, which means this may trend and turn to green. The buyers are coming back in. This may trend back and continue down in a selling motion and stay in this blue cloud. But I've got a really, really big mouth on this cloud, and it's just about waiting, right? It's waiting for this. And I'll sit here and I'll watch this to see where it's going. You can see some sellers are jumping in. I did get buyers in the market right here, though. I do have buyers in the market. This might be a really good BTS move from here to here. That's called between the sheets, when we do between the black and the gold lines in this move. But I've got a red SAR right here. It's just a matter of waiting. Now, I can also jump in this on a larger time frame. If I wanted to open up a trade and go to say the daily, right? If I'm going to open up the daily, I've got to be patient and realize the trade's probably going to be open 3 or 4 days before it hits my take profit area. If I want to do that, or if I want to jump all the way up to the hourly chart, depending on how I feel, right? And what everything is looking like. Now, on the hour chart, let's jump over here to the dollar. On the hour, this is where it gets fun, right? This is where you can open up trades. And the same thing with Australian dollar. We're going to jump over here and we'll come up to the hour chart as well on the Australian dollar. And this is where I would open my trades typically. If I'm going to be in the trade all day, I'm just going to set it up and walk away from it and do what I want to do. I'm going to look for all the same indicators, right? I want price to be, if I'm going to jump into a buy on this one, I want to look for price to be above the MACD, right? It's already got buyers in the market here, but I want to wait for price to come above the zero. I want to wait for the purple line to kick in and take off and run here. And I want to wait for price to be above this gold line before I enter my trade. So if I was going to set this up, I'd probably do like a buy stop, put my enter, do something like this, right? Do a long position. I'm going to set this right up in here and I'm going to run it right up to the Oracle, but I'm going to show you another tool that I like to use. And I'll probably do something just about like this in this area. But one of the other tools that you can use, let's see if I'm on the hour chart. Let's see if this will kick in and show me. Because I've got Fibonacci pivots, which is another tool I like to use depending on where I'm at. I'm actually below the P. So I have a feeling it's going to turn and it's going to come back down this way, although we've got a green X. Gold is probably going to turn and come back down in this direction. I just got to wait till the bottom of the hour to find out where it's going and what it's going to do in terms of the dollar, right? Remember, there's going to be some news coming out on the dollar, depending on what the dollar does and which direction it goes. Again, it usually leads gold just a little bit. So I have a feeling it's going to do this here, right? Based on the news. I don't know. We're going to see, right? We can't predict the future. I can't tell what a bunch of people are spending billions and billions of dollars and trillions of dollars are going to do here. But if it does, and the buyers on this start jumping in, gold again is going to continue its big overall trend, right? It's going to continue its overall trend down to the basement. Let me clear that out of there. It's going to continue its trend in this downward motion heading down towards the basement in terms of being in a seller's market. So I'm probably going to enter a trade something like this. Probably going to do something like this. I'm going to bring this bad boy right down to just a little bit inside my breakout box. I'm going to bring this bad boy up to just above. And I don't know if you can see this candle right here, but right at the top of that candle, it says this is a 1 to 4 trade, but when you're trading gold, it moves pretty fast. It's got some really good margins. And between this area and this area here, there's quite a bit of dollars going on. And I'll go to a smaller time chart. You can see this. There's a lot of money in this area right here. And this will give you an idea on how big this trade is. You can see there's a lot of money going on between this point where I'd get into this trade, somewhere right in here and right down to right there. That's 397 pips. That's a lot of gold money right there. So that's probably what I'm going to set up this morning and do that. Again, I'm not a professional trader. I don't get financial advice. This is what I'm doing. I recommend, if you're thinking about doing this, go open a demo account, practice this, take a look at it, and get used to the trends, get used to reading this. And you, of course, if you're a scalper, you can get in on the lower time frames and scalp gold all day long. Hopefully got some value from this. Again, this is how I do it. And if you've been following me, you see I make a couple of $200 or $300 or $400 or $500 and made $600 a couple of days ago trading gold, doing what I just did here. There's been a couple of days where I lost a little bit of money. It wasn't the end of the world because I built up a nice little account using other people's money. When I say use other people's money, I open my account with my money, and then I traded and I put a bunch more of their money on top of that. So when it does this stuff in my account, I'm not losing any of my original principal, which is pretty cool. So just thought I'd throw that in as a shout out. Hopefully you got some value from this. I'm going to wait till here about another 6 minutes. We're going to see where the market goes. I'm probably going to go ahead and open up this trade that I just showed you guys, get that set up, and then we'll let you know what happens at the end of the day, see where it goes. Appreciate you. I love you. Jesus loves you. Absolutely nothing you can do about that. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, help you make a lot of money. Come and join me in class. It's a lot of fun. 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 And once you learn it, it's a skill that you can't unlearn. You'll be able to use it, share it with your family, do whatever you need. Appreciate you. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.